Now I request Sri Sai Pramod Bathini, Alakit organization, one of the founder members of the Alakit, who is a pioneer for the school leadership. Mana state lo gani, mana jatiya sthai lo gani, is one of the pioneer of the school leadership. I request him to take a topic on the perspectives of school leadership. School leadership and the importance, the role enti vari maatalo vindam. Over to Sai Pramod.
Thanks, sir. Very good morning, Suresh sir and Jagdish sir.
Thank you.
Wonderful introduction. Thanks so much, Suresh sir, for being very elaborate in explaining the whole role of the program. So, Andarki Namaskaram andi. I'm from Alokit, Sai Pramod from Alokit. Trained as an engineer, but then out of passion, I chose social engineering. So, educational almost 10 years nunchi I have been working at the grassroots level, both as a teacher and also as a trainer for school principals for the last 7 years. So across the country, I've worked more than with 2,000, 3,000 principals with almost 8 different state governments. So please consider that I'm sharing my learning with all of you from my observations, right? So first session today is the perspectives of school leadership. I think that's a very, very important theme to think about. Each session we'll explore as a school leader, what is the main role, what are the different dimensions school principal role in any konalla manam chodachu. So that way we look at it, and accordingly based on this discussion you can start thinking, are you in the right direction, or is there some reorientation required in your thinking also to perform your role very well, right? So that is going to be the point of discussion for today. So before we start off, I request all of you one simple thing. If internet is not a problem, I request all of you to keep your videos on. Your videos on, then we can clearly see what's the participation like. I can also get a feel of how you're all absorbing the content. So, and number two, please mute yourself when you're not speaking, so that it is not disturbing us. And if there are any clarifying questions, you can type in on the chat box, or you can also raise hands. And I mean, this is not related to this session, but all the sessions, please try to come at least 3 minutes before time, so that every session is started. So ideally, the school rename చేసుకుంటే it's very helpful as school name, your name and school name, so that we can also call you by your school name, right? So these are small norms. If you can keep following throughout the session, it will be helpful, right? So first one, first perspectives on school leadership. I just want all of you to type on the chat box before we begin. What are your goals as a school head? Okay, sorry, if all of you can type in. This session will try to make it as engaging as possible. Okay, side మాట్లాడమే కాకుండా we'll make sure that మీరు అందరూ కూడా మాట్లాడి మనం అందరూ కూడా మాట్లాడే విధంగా ప్లాన్ చేద్దాం. So that's how the session will be going. So the first question I have, what are your goals as a school head? Andar, if you can type in on the chat box, that will be very helpful to begin this session. Someone is saying my voice is not very clear. Maybe sir, internet is a problem for you.
All-round development of child, zero dropout to her responded. Inka response చాలా తక్కువనే. Chat లో టైప్ చేయండి. ఓకే, లీడర్ ఇన్ స్కూల్. ఓకే, విద్యార్థుల సర్వతోముఖ అభివృద్ధి. ఓకే,
make school successful.
Voice is not clear. ఓకే, ఏం చేస్తాం ఇప్పుడు, నెట్ కనెక్టివిటీ ఉంది. ప్లీజ్ కైండ్లీ బేర్. there are difficulties వస్తాయి ఇట్లా. All-round development, yes. Mostly all-round development. Sarvathamukha abhivruddhi. Yeah. Provide facilities అనే దాంట్లో చెప్పారు. Development and enrollment, application, what is learned by the students. Okay. Moral development, good.
Model school in all aspects.
Yes. Okay. Make school ideal in society. Good.
Wonderful.
Nice.
Wonderful. Yeah. Good to see all of your perspectives. You're all thinking about what is your goal as a school head, right? But for that to happen, first of all, you need to discover what is your role as well, right? Me role ఏంటి, ఈ ఎంటైర్ జర్నీలో అది డిస్కవర్ చేయడం ఇంపార్టెంట్. Now we'll think about 3 broad roles I will touch upon today. 3 కోణాల్లో చూద్దాము. ఆ కోణాలు చూసేదానికంటే ముందర ఒక చిన్న క్విజ్. I thought we'll all participate in a small quiz. నేను కొన్ని క్వశ్చన్స్ ఇస్తాను మన విద్యా వ్యవస్థ గురించి. మీరు దాని రెస్పాన్సెస్ చాట్ లో డ్రాప్ చేయొచ్చు ఈ ఆన్సర్స్ ని. ఫస్ట్ క్వశ్చన్, ఇండియాలో ఎన్ని స్కూల్స్ ఉన్నాయి? టోటల్ నెంబర్ ఆఫ్ స్కూల్స్ ఇన్ ఇండియా. మన విద్యా వ్యవస్థ గురించి మీరు హోలిస్టిక్ నేషనల్ లెవెల్ డేటా మొత్తం చూస్తే వీల్ అండర్స్టాండ్ వాట్ ఇస్ ద రోల్ ఆఫ్ ద స్కూల్ ప్రిన్సిపల్, హౌ ఇంపార్టెంట్ ఇట్ ఈస్, and why School Leadership Academy is taking a lot of effort. So let us try to understand first our education system at large in the country. What do you think is the total number of schools in India? Someone is saying 14 lakhs. Okay. Interesting. I would like to see all the responses. 14 lakhs. Any other response on the chat box? Any schools in India? 20 lakhs above, nearly 20 lakhs. Okay, that's a good guess. Keep guessing. 1.5 lakhs, 18 lakhs, 14 to 15 lakhs. Wonderful, interesting guess. A lot of people are guessing already. 28 lakhs. Okay. I think all of us are aware of Telangana, but may not be aware of the entire country. About 15.3 lakhs schools are there as per the latest DICE data. Okay, India lo mottham 15.3 lakh schools unnai, each handled by 15.3 lakh school heads, which is very, very important. This 15.3 lakh school heads are the most important people who can transform Indian education system if you look at the broad perspective. Right? So next one, how many number of students do you think are there in Indian schools? Both private schools kaavachu, government schools kaavachu, aided schools kaavachu. Can you take a guess how many schools are enrolled? I request you all to type in the chat box. Let's take this guess also. Entamandi students are 2 crore, okay. 33 crores. 20 crore students, 30 crore students. Okay, good guess. Let me also play the answer for you. It's about 25 crore students are enrolled in schools across India. Right? So the reason I'm trying to point out is this 15.3 lakh school heads have an opportunity to shape the lives of 25 crore students across the country. And the National Center for School Leadership Academy is focusing a lot on strengthening school principals, right? And also our State Leadership Academy is also playing that role in strengthening, because the life of 25 crore children is dependent on all the school heads. Let's do last question, and then after that we'll move forward. Even before that, rather than asking teachers, I'll ask you all. 2009 lo program for international student assessment, okay, exam during it's a worldwide examination. It's conducted every 3 years. PISA test. India participated in 2009. Out of 73 countries who participated, so there were ranks given from top to bottom. So India ranking is that. What do you think was India's ranking out of 73? So it is a globally conducted test. 73 countries participated in 2009. What do you think is India's ranking out of 73? 65. Request all of us to take a guess. 71, 70, 50, 55. Fixed response 50. There is no one telling top 10. 79, okay, 70, 30, okay. Ramesh sir is very hopeful, 30, 55, 45. Great. So let me show you what was India's rank. Someone guessed it right. So India's rank was 72. Last nunchi we were the last but one. Manakante Venakala Central Asian Republic country, Kyrgyzstan country, they were the last in that year. ఆ తర్వాత నుంచి మనం ఇండియా నెవర్ పార్టిసిపేటెడ్ ఇన్ PISA test. After that, again this year Chandigarh is going to be participating after a long time, because government of India felt that we need to prepare our students more thoroughly. Chandigarh is our first time again they're going to take part. So what is this talking about? It's talking about our students are not performing as much as good as the students across the world, right? So this is the data that's talking about. And pandemic tarvata, we all know that we are experience చేస్తుంటారు ఇంకా learning loss ఎక్కువైపోయింది. There is a real challenge at hand for all of us, particularly for all the school heads. So reality, it's very dire. It is not very encouraging. Pre-pandemic data and post-pandemic now, I think the learning levels would have all gone down a lot. So that is a challenge that we all have. But we should also be hopeful, and I think we all have a hope, provided that all the school heads really play to the role of play a leadership role at this time in the crisis, right? So and for that to happen, first of all, our mindsets only should start thinking differently to be able to bring hope into our education system, right? So again, perspectives of leadership are very important because we need to understand your own role properly and accordingly make some changes in the way all the school heads function. So ఈ సెషన్ లో మనం 3 కోణాలు చూస్తాం స్కూల్ లీడర్స్ అంటే ఏంటి అనేది. ఒకటి స్కూల్ లీడరా లేకపోతే మేనేజరా, దట్ డైమెన్షన్ we will see. Second aspect that we will see is school leader administrator or school leader is pedagogical leader also. రెండో కోణం చూస్తాం. Lastly, we'll also look at school leader as an organizational leader. ఒక సంస్థకి నాయకుడు. ఆ రకంలో చూసినప్పుడు స్కూల్ లీడర్ అంటే వాళ్ళ roles and responsibilities, right? So these are the 3 broad dimensions we will look at the role of school leadership. So let's get started. First one, I have a question to all of you. Is there a difference between leader and manager? Leader ki manager ki teda unda unte enti adi? You can type in on the chat box, and also maybe 1 or 2 people, if you raise hands, we will also unmute you. We will unmute cheskoni మీరు share చేయొచ్చు responses. వాళ్ళిద్దరికి leader manager both same or different? ఒకవేళ different అయితే you can type in the response on chat box also. Leader అంటే ఏంటి, manager అంటే. In the meanwhile, we'll also take responses from some school principals. Radha Rani madam, would you like to share? We are seeing that your hand is rising. Hey, Radha Rani madam. Yes, madam. We are unmute చేసుకోవచ్చు madam. Madam, please unmute. Okay, not seeing. Already chat, we are seeing a lot of responses. Leader leads the team, manager supervises. Wonderful. Maybe we can go to some other principal who is raising hand. K. Raju Government Public School, Rajendra Nagar. Sir, మీరు unmute చేసుకుంటారా sir? Okay, my audio can be checking. Maybe we can also take. Jayashree Reddy sir, can we unmute few school principals? So K. Radharani madam, you unmute this question. We are asking you to unmute. You can also unmute and share. Yes, madam, unmute change. You're unmuting and then again going. K. Raju garu. T. Chandrasekhar sir, Chandrasekhar Reddy sir, leaders lead and inspire. So, మీరు ఒకసారి unmute చేసుకుంటారా sir? Can you share the differences from your perspective? T. Chandrasekhar Reddy sir. Yeah.
మ్యూట్ చేసుకోండి మిగతా.
Raju sir. Okay. Yeah. So we have very interesting responses. Everyone is saying leader is inspired, manager is just a guide. Okay. Some people are saying leaders lead the system in innovative way, involving everyone. but manager runs the system in the way as it is. Santosh Kumar sir, wonderful response. I'm seeing a lot of interesting response. Leader has followers, but manager has no followers. Wonderful. Leader is inspired, manager is a guide. Leader is inspirational. Okay. I think this is the first perspective. Now I want to ask all of you. Now think, is school principal a leader or is school principal a manager? Either clever. School principal, leader or manager? I would like to hear responses from someone in audio. We will unmute you. Anyone who wants to speak? M. Satyanarayan garu, MPPS. Sir, మీరు unmute చేసుకోండి. సో వాళ్ళ ప్రిన్సిపల్ లీడర్ అయితే ఎందుకు లీడర్ అనుకుంటున్నారు మీరు? ప్రిన్సిపల్ మేనేజర్ అయితే ఎందుకు మేనేజర్ అనుకుంటున్నారు? We can share that. M. Satyanarayan garu, can you unmute, sir? Or maybe anyone who is interested, you can also raise hands. We will allow you to unmute.
ఎవరైతే రేస్ హ్యాండ్ చేస్తారో వాళ్ళకి అన్మ్యూట్ చేయండి.
HM Sultanapur district garu. Meeru you can unmute and you can talk, sir.
Okay, sir. Good morning, sir. Sir, leader అనే వ్యక్తితోటి హెడ్ మాస్టర్ లీడర్ అయినప్పుడు పాఠశాల పరిసరాలు కూడా అదే విధంగా ఉంటాయి. టీచర్ వాళ్ళని అనుసరిస్తూ ఉంటారు, పిల్లలు కూడా టీచర్లను అనుసరిస్తూ ఉంటారు. కాబట్టి ఒక లీడర్షిప్ లక్షణం కలిగి ఉన్నప్పుడే ఆ వ్యవస్థ బాగుపడుతుంది సార్.
వండర్ఫుల్ సార్, దట్స్ ఎ వెరీ గుడ్ పాయింట్. అందరూ అనుసరిస్తూ ఉంటారు, అనుకరిస్తూ ఉంటారు కూడా. టీచర్స్ అనుకరిస్తూ ఉంటారు, పిల్లలు అనుకరిస్తూ ఉంటారు, ఆ చుట్టుపక్కల ఉన్న గ్రామాల్లో ఉన్న ప్రజలు కూడా అనుకరిస్తూ ఉంటారు. దట్స్ వెరీ ఇంట్రెస్టింగ్ పాయింట్. సో స్కూల్ లీడర్ ఇస్ ఏ స్కూల్ ప్రిన్సిపల్ ఇస్ ఏ లీడర్. వండర్ఫుల్. ఎనీబడి ఎల్స్ హూ వాంట్ టు షేర్? Some hands are rising. Jagdish Reddy sir, can you also unmute other?
Pushparagam garu, you can speak,
sir,
madam.
Sir, good morning, sir. Good morning, all of you. Sir, as per my view, the headmaster is both a leader and a manager as well, because as a leader he has to take initiative and he has to design the programs and he has to organize them and he has to influence the followers or the subordinates. He has to run the school as per his norms and all, and he has to manage also, because he has to abide by the instructions which has been given to him by the higher authorities, and he has to follow some set norms. He is not an independent entity, so he is both a leader and a manager as well, according to me.
Wonderful, madam. That's a great point. Pushparaga madam is saying that school principal is both a leader as well as a manager. That's a very interesting perspective. And I also agree with madam, because rendu balance cheskoni both undali, because there are certain places where the principal has to obey the orders of the higher authorities. That means you are managing just the things that have to be done, and at the same time you are also a leader because you know the grassroots better. And you need to design initiatives and interventions that suit your grassroots, so that your school is not stagnating and your school is also growing. Wonderful, madam. Thank you for bringing that perspective. So the key challenge for all school principals is e balance manage chesukodame, and the most critical challenge. Chala mandi principals either manager role only, higher authorities instructions kosam wait cheyadam ante complete managers ayipotaru. Pai nunchi authority nunchi instructions raledante emi cheyadu. Learning outcomes poor unnayana gani nobody will think about it, because they say we want some 3-hour program to be designed. A head office nunchi paina commissioner office nunchi em program raaledu kabatti we will not design anything. So people get stuck completely in managerial role, right? And then there is a danger that schools will stagnate. So as Pushpa madam said, we need to find a very delicate balance between this managerial role and leadership role, so that our schools can grow. I think in the tomorrow's session, today's session only, you'll also hear about school as a learning organization. So if anyone who is operating with this mindset, that school principal is both a leader and a manager, they are the ones who will start looking at making your school as a learning organization, not an organization that is stagnant. Right? So the key message that I want you all to leave with is please find a delicate balance between leadership and managerial role. So just take 2 minutes to look at what are some of the tasks of leaders and managers. managers saying chestaru, leaders saying chestaru. Just to give you some sense, leaders always focus on change, so they don't look at maintaining status quo like managers, right? Leaders set vision and goals. Managers focus just on tasks. Ichina tasks final em chepte adi chestaru ante. But leaders set the vision, they set the goals and stuff, right? Leaders encourage innovation and experimentation. Fail aina parledu man kottaga try cheddam. Let us see what happens while we're trying to find new solutions to the problems that we have. But managers just only give directions. They don't try new things and stuff, right? Very important point is leaders trust. They trust second-hand leadership. They trust their teachers. They trust their students. They trust their SMC members that they will also do a good job and delegate chestaru. So managers don't trust. They centralize everything. Anni valla kanusalana jaragalanu chustu untaru because they don't have trust in the ability of their subordinates, right? And leaders also take risks. Risk lekunda we don't find any change. So leaders prefer to take risks. Managers ఏంటంటే ఎందుకు ఇవన్నీ మనం రిస్క్ తీసుకుంటే అనవసరంగా ప్రాబ్లం వస్తుంది. Let us not take risk. ఉన్నది ఉన్నట్టే పోనీయండి. So that is why schools just remain as is, right? And very important point, last point I want to also notice, leaders generally give credit to their subordinates for the success. And failures ఏమన్నా they will take ownership for those failures. But managers మొత్తం they always take మొత్తం నా వల్లే జరిగింది. So they try to ascribe the credit for themselves, right? This is the first perspective. So finding that delicate balance between leadership and management role is a very, very important challenge for the school principals, and that is where you all have to grow to get better in your role, right? So if rendo kodam chuddam. So Steve Jobs garu he had a very interesting insight. Steve Jobs, the founder of Apple. So he was saying that management is about persuading people to do things they do not want to do, while leadership is about inspiring people to do things they never thought they could do. So that has been something that he has been following to build Apple as the most reputed company across the world. So leadership should be inspirational to challenge our subordinate to do things that they never thought they could do in their life, right? So let's take that message. And the second dimension now that we will look at is school principal a pedagogical leader or just an administrator? Again, let's discuss this. My responses chat lo shoot cheyachu, chat lo share cheyandi, and some people can also share it through voice. We will unmute you and you can share. School principal administrator or pedagogical leader? Pedagogical leader is someone who tries to improve teaching learning practices in the classroom. So Jyoti madam is saying pedagogical leader. Others also can type. Some people are saying it's both. Some people are saying it's administrator. Maybe anyone, Devishared sir, can you also unmute one or two principals from here? Pushpalata madam is saying school admin, administrator, both. Some people are saying
Banda
both.
Ramesh garu, you can speak, sir. Banda Ramesh sir.
గుడ్ మార్నింగ్ సార్, గుడ్ మార్నింగ్ టు ఆల్. నా దృష్టిలో సార్ హెడ్ మాస్టర్ అనేవారు, ఐఎమ్ ఆడిబుల్ సార్?
Yes sir, you are very much audible. Yeah.
ఓకే సార్. హెడ్ మాస్టర్ ఆర్ ప్రిన్సిపల్ అనేవారు ఒక అడ్మినిస్ట్రేటర్ గా ఉండాలి, యాజ్ వెల్ యాజ్ పెడగాజికల్ లీడర్ గా కూడా ఉండాల్సి వస్తుంది కొన్ని సమయాలలో. ఎందుకంటే అన్ని ఆస్పెక్ట్స్లలో కూడా మనము అంటే యాజ్ ఏ హెడ్ మాస్టర్ గా ఉన్న తనను బట్టే టీచర్స్ కానీ విద్యార్థులు కానీ ప్రతి ఆస్పెక్ట్ లో వాళ్ళు మనల్ని చాలా కీన్ అబ్జర్వేషన్ ఉంటుంది. కాబట్టి ఒక మాటలో చెప్పాలంటే ఒక రోల్ మోడల్ గా హెడ్ మాస్టర్ ఉండాల్సిన బాధ్యత ఉంటుందని నా అభిప్రాయం సార్. థ్యాంక్ యూ సార్.
Right, sir. Wonderful. Thank you so much sir for sharing that. So Ramesh sir was saying that andro principal ga rendu side undali, administrator plus pedagogical leader ani. Ramreddy sir is also raising hand. Ramreddy sir, మీ దృష్టిలో ప్రిన్సిపల్ ఏంటి, పెడగాజికల్ లీడరా లేకపోతే అడ్మినిస్ట్రేటరా? సో కొంచెం ఎలాబరేట్ చేస్తే కొంచెం బెటర్. పెడగాజికల్ లీడర్ అని మీరు అనుకుంటూ ఉంటే పెడగాజికల్ లీడర్ గా ప్రిన్సిపల్ ఏం చేయాలి? యూ కెన్ ఆల్సో షేర్ దట్. రామరెడ్డి సార్, యూ కెన్ అన్మ్యూట్. Jayesh Reddy sir, maybe you can unmute someone who is raising hand. Yeah, Ramreddy sir.
Jayashankar garu, Jayashankar sir, Ramanna, మీరు you can speak.
సార్ నమస్తే సార్, సౌండ్ అయితే క్లారిటీ లేదు సార్.
గుడ్ మార్నింగ్ సార్.
మీ
రామన్నపురం
వాయిస్ లో క్లారిటీ లేదు సార్, మాకు పూర్తిగా.
రామన్నపురం జయశంకర్, గోపాలపల్లి. హలో సార్.
Yes sir, వినిపిస్తుంది సార్.
Sir, as a leader is a pedagogical leader and administrator of the school, to both sides, administration side and teaching side, sir. ఒకవేళ టీచర్ అనే అతను బోధనాపరంగా యాక్టివ్ గా ఉన్నప్పుడే తన సహచరులు కూడా యాక్టివ్ గా ఉంటారు. కేవలం ఆయన చెప్తూ ఆయన ఇన్యాక్టివ్ గా ఉంటే, అంటే ఆఫీస్ కే పరిమితం అయితే, టీచర్స్ కూడా యాక్టివ్ గా పనిచేయడానికి అవకాశం ఉండదు. తాను యాక్టివ్ గా ఉంటూ, తాను యాక్టివ్ గా వర్క్ చేస్తూ, రోల్ మోడల్ గా ఉన్న, పెడగాజికల్ గా ఉన్నప్పుడే తన సబార్డినేట్స్ అందరికి కూడా యాక్టివ్ గా పనిచేసి అందరు యూనిటీగా ఆ స్కూలును మంచి రిజల్ట్ తీసుకురావడానికి, మంచి అడ్మినిస్ట్రేషన్ చేయడానికి ఉపయోగపడుతుంది. అంటే ఒక హెడ్ మాస్టర్ అడ్మినిస్ట్రేషన్ చేయాలి అని అంటే ఐడియల్ గా ఉండాలి, అడ్మినిస్ట్రేషన్ పరంగా ఐడియల్ గా ఉండాలి, టీచింగ్ పరంగా కూడా ఐడియల్ గా ఉండాలి. కేవలం టైం టేబుల్ ను అమలు పరిచేటువంటి బాధ్యతనే కాకుండా, కేవలం ఫిజికల్ ఫెసిలిటీస్ కల్పించేటువంటి అతనిగానే కాకుండా, ఎస్ఎంసితో సత్సంబంధాలను కలిగి ఉండేటువంటి ఉపాధ్యాయునిగానే కాకుండా, టీచర్స్ తో కూడా సహసంబంధాలను కలిగి ఉంటూ, టీచర్స్ కూడా కరిక్యులర్ యాక్టివిటీస్ వైపు ఇన్నోవేటివ్గా, క్రియేటివిటీగా తన ఆలోచనను రివ్యూ మీటింగ్స్ లో చెప్పడం ద్వారా ఆ స్కూలును ఒక మంచి వేలో నడిపించడానికి అవకాశం ఉంటుంది సార్. థ్యాంక్ యూ ఫర్ గివింగ్ ఆపర్చునిటీ.
వండర్ఫుల్ రామన్న సార్, చాలా మంచి పాయింట్ హైలైట్ చేశారు. టీచర్స్ తో కూడా సత్సంబంధం, టీచర్స్ కూడా టీచింగ్ లెర్నింగ్ ప్రాక్టీసెస్ ఇంప్రూవ్ చేసే విధంగా రోల్ ప్లే చేస్తేనే దట్స్ ద కంప్లీట్నెస్ ఫర్ ద ప్రిన్సిపల్. ఇట్స్ నాట్ జస్ట్ అడ్మినిస్ట్రేషనే కాకుండా ఎస్ఎంసీస్ రిలేషన్షిప్ మెయింటైన్ చేయడమే కాకుండా academics improvement is also a very important part. Thank you very much for highlighting that, sir. Pushpa madam is also requesting to unmute. Jagdish sir, can you unmute Pushpa madam?
Yes sir, Pushpa madam, you can speak.
Sir, thank you, sir. Sir, according to me, the school head is both pedagogical leader and administrator as well, because in some primary schools also, in UPS schools also, the school head has to take some subjects and all. He might be getting some what you can say time in high school, but when compared with the UPS and primary, he has to be a part of the administration and pedagogy. He has to deal with some subjects also. When seeing with the perspective of a leader, the leader can not only lead, but he has to follow. అంటే అన్ని నాకే తెలుసు అనుకోకుండా వాళ్ళ సబార్డినేట్స్ ని యొక్క ఒపీనియన్ తీసుకొని కూడా అతను పెడగాజీలో చేసుకోవాల్సిన మార్పులు, ఏ విధంగా టీచింగ్ లెర్నింగ్ మెటీరియల్ ఉండాలి, టీచింగ్ లెర్నింగ్ ఏ విధంగా జరగాలి, ఆ ప్రాసెస్ అడ్వైజెస్ తీసుకుంటూ ఆ పెడగాజీని ఎలా డిజైన్ చేయాలి. ఇందాక సార్ గారు చెప్పినట్టు సొసైటీతోని, కమ్యూనిటీతోని ఏ విధంగా మనం అసోసియేట్ అవ్వచ్చు, ప్లస్ అన్ని కోకరికులర్ యాక్టివిటీస్ as well as కరికులర్ కూడా ఏ విధంగా ఉండాలి. ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్, I hail from English background, so I can deal with only English lessons. I didn't know anything about maths and all. So mathematics లో ఏ విధమైన స్ట్రాటజీస్ ఉపయోగిస్తే బాగుంటుంది, అండ్ సోషల్ అండ్ సైన్స్ అండ్ ఆల్. సో నాకు తెలిసిన మట్టుకే నేను చెప్పగలుగుతాను. నాకు తెలియని విషయాలు తెలుసుకోవాలి. ఒక లీడర్ షుడ్ లెర్న్ ఫస్ట్, దెన్ ఓన్లీ హీ కెన్ ఏబుల్ టు డిజైన్ ఆల్ ద అవుట్లుక్ అండ్ ఆల్ ద ప్రోగ్రామ్స్ అండ్ ఆల్. So, and he can administer later. So first he has to be a pedagogical leader. Then if he can able to successfully learn and initiate and take suggestions from us, he can administrate. That is my opinion.
Wonderful, madam. Wonderful, madam. Thank you so much for highlighting that role. I have also highlighted a few things. Pedagogical leader. Anybody who is sharing?
But the concern is why the leader always should be he. Pushparaga madam.
Yeah, because I am my school head, sir. That is what I actually.
No, whenever you are referring to headmaster, you are telling he.
Yeah,
So why-
I'm
why
very sorry,
only
sir.
he?
I'll take back my words. I'm a she, and she also. She
Okay,
also.
gender neutral, school head.
Yeah.
Gender neutral language.
Yes, yes. Mr. Reddy, sir. I
Please.
will take back my words, and she
Please,
also.
please.
can lead.
That
Oh,
on a lighter note, madam, please. Yeah.
Wonderful. Thanks very much, madam. Thanks
Thank you, sir.
everyone for chat, putting your response on the chat and also volunteering to share it and making it engaging. Even in my view, school principal is both. They need to play the role of a pedagogical leader as well as administrator, and not just stuck to only one, which is administrator traditionally, registers maintain చేయడం, complaints timetable ప్రకారం అన్ని ఈవెంట్స్ చేయడం, ఏం ఇష్యూస్ రాకుండా కాన్ఫ్లిక్ట్స్ రాకుండా చూసుకోవడం. So that is what most people are stuck to. They are stuck to the office. One of the principals already got చెప్పినట్టు office case stuck కాకుండా then they have to also be a pedagogical leader. అసలు pedagogical leader అంటే ఏం చేస్తారు principal? They should focus on improving teaching learning practices in the classroom. అది జరగాలి అని అంటే principals also can take lot of professional development opportunities for teachers. Model classes arrange చేయడం, క్లాస్ లోనే ఒక టీచర్ ని మోడల్ క్లాస్ చేస్తుంటే అదర్ టీచర్స్ కెన్ అబ్జర్వ్. సో ఇటువంటి ఈవెంట్స్ స్కూల్స్ లో చేయొచ్చు. ఆర్ రిసోర్స్ పర్సన్స్ ఎవరైనా ఉంటే పిలిపించి ఒక మోడల్ క్లాస్ చేసి చూపించమని చెప్పడం, లేకపోతే మంచి వీడియోస్ చూసి టీచర్స్ ని నేర్చుకుని వచ్చి క్లాస్ లో ప్రయత్నం చేయమని చెప్పడం. సో దీస్ ఆర్ ద యాక్టివిటీస్ దట్ ప్రిన్సిపల్ షుడ్ డూ యాజ్ పార్ట్ ఆఫ్ ద పెడగాజికల్ లీడర్షిప్. Next important thing as part of pedagogical leadership is principals also should go into the classroom observation. Classroom observation. I think one of the sessions subsequently will be on classroom observation in the feedback alive all teachers and that is also one of the topic. Very important role of principal is they also should go into the classroom and see teaching learning ela jarugutundi, ఏమైనా మార్పు చేయాల్సిన అవసరం ఉందా. If some teachers are doing good job, appreciate చేయడం వల్ల చాలా బాగా చేస్తున్నారు, చక్కగా చేస్తున్నారు, so that you can also, they will also feel very happy about the principals are వచ్చారు, మేడం వచ్చారు classroom ki, they are also acknowledging my good work. So that creates a positive culture, and teachers also want to try new things and be innovative, right? So that is also one part as a pedagogical leader. So the next thing is action research projects encourage. So how teachers can solve some of the problems that students are facing. Say కొన్ని schools లో పిల్లలు ఓరల్ గా చెప్పగలుగుతున్నారు కానీ రాయలేకపోతున్నాం. So school principals can encourage teachers to conduct action research. అంటే ఒక చిన్న రీసెర్చ్ లాగా చేసి to improve writing skills. So కొన్ని strategies try చేసి then teachers will learn from if those strategies are working or not. So action research projects లాంటివి చేయడం, or teacher learning circles. So all the teachers once in a month or once in a fortnight, they can all sit together and share any best practices that they have, so that other teachers can learn from it. So the variety of activities can be done by the school principal as part of the pedagogical leader, right? So that's why it's very important again to balance the role of administrator versus pedagogical leader. Even the mindset. ఇప్పుడు మీ మైండ్ సెట్ లో అడ్మినిస్ట్రేటర్ అనుకుంటే టీచింగ్ లెర్నింగ్ నాకు సంబంధం లేదు. సో ఎస్సీఆర్టీ వాళ్ళు ట్రైనింగ్ చేస్తున్న టీచర్స్ కెన్ గెట్ బెటర్, మాకు సంబంధం లేదా అనుకుంటాం. ఇఫ్ యూ థింక్ దట్ ఐ ఆల్సో హ్యావ్ ఎ రోల్ టు ఇంప్రూవ్ టీచింగ్ లెర్నింగ్ ప్రాసెస్, then you will start also planning for the activities that I mentioned here, right? So that is the second perspective. And we look at the last perspective now, school principal as an organizational leader, right? Organization leader ante enti, samsthaki nayakudu asalu em chestar. You can also type in on the chat box. What is the role of an organization leader? Okay, CEO gani company ki, lekapothe oka head of the department gani, so wala role enti? You can also type in on the chat box, and simultaneously we'll also take responses from few people who are raising hands. Okay, samsthak nayakudu wala roles enti, వాళ్ళు ఏం చేయాలి? Now here you are trying to zoom yourself as a big person, not just only as an administrator. Think big right now. ఒక సంస్థ నాయకుడు, లీడర్స్, CEOs కానీ, డిపార్ట్మెంట్ హెడ్స్ కానీ, what do you think is their role? Their facilitator.
Jojappa garu, can you speak?
Organized all. Okay, interesting.
సార్.
Jojappa garu, మాట్లాడండి.
గుడ్ మార్నింగ్ సార్.
Very good morning.
So the school principal as a pedagogical leader, as administrator, and totally he controls the total organization, that is the school, to run in a better way by achieving the objectives from the academic side as well as the curricular, co-curricular activities. And generally the difference between these, the principal as an organizer in the school or the organizer in some other institutions are, they are they are the materialistics, but it is related to the human beings. These, the goals and what we have to achieve is may not be sometimes measurable. So this is the development of the humanity by achieving these academic objectives. So definitely he is completely different from the leader who is working in other organizations, and the leader, the principal or the headmaster who is working in the school is completely different, and it is unlimited.
Wonderful, wonderful, sir. You really highlighted that, okay, school principal as an organization, it is very different from other organizations because the role and opportunity is very unlimited for the school principal. So students ni shape cheyachu, wala parents behave ni shape cheyachu, wala community behave ni shape cheyachu. So the more the principal thinks, vision enta broad gunte anta grand ga kanipistundi principal role, as opposed to other business organization. Business organization mottham focus profit making, how can we generate more profits from previous year to the current year type untundi, and the principal's role is much broader. Wonderful, sir. Thanks for sharing that perspective. And intaku mundu chat box lo kontamandi are sharing that principal's role is to help in the achievement of the mission and vision of the school, and they should set the vision and JPC. Some people are sharing. Maybe let us look at some other responses. Suresh Babu sir.
ఎవరో కొత్త ఆవిష్కరణలు చేసే విధంగా ప్రోత్సహించాలని కూడా రాశారు.
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
So organization leaders.
Yeah,
wonderful.
organizational leader sets the goals of the organization. Exactly. అంటే మీ స్కూల్ యొక్క గోల్ ఉండాలి, మీ స్కూల్ యొక్క విజన్ ఉండాలి, మిషన్ ఉండాలి. That's an important aspect. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yes, yes. Good. Okay.
Let's hear from other people. Very interesting things. And you will be surprised. నేను చాలా స్కూల్స్ కి వెళ్ళినప్పుడు మీ గోల్స్ ఏంటి, ఈ సంవత్సరం మీరు ఏం సాధిద్దాం అనుకుంటున్నారు అంటే you will be surprised. Very few principals tell me, నాకు ఈ సంవత్సరం 3 goals మేము ఆస్పైర్ చేస్తున్నాం, 1, 2, 3 అని ఎవరు చెప్పరు. ఇన్ స్పెసిఫిక్ నంబర్ స్మార్ట్ గోల్ అని చెప్పి ఇప్పుడు దాకా నేను ఎక్కడ ఇండియాలో చాలా తక్కువ స్కూల్స్ లో చూశాను. ఎవ్రీవన్ విల్ సే మాకు పాస్ పర్సెంటేజ్ ఇంప్రూవ్. దిస్ ఆర్ ఆల్ వెరీ జెనరిక్ స్టేట్మెంట్స్. అందరికీ కావాలి పాస్ పర్సెంటేజ్ ఇంప్రూవ్ అవడం, డ్రాప్ అవుట్స్ కంటైన్ చేయడం. బట్ ఆర్ యూ హ్యావింగ్ bull's eye? Sir, we want to increase the pass percentage from last year 67%. Now this year we want to take it to 85%. We want to reduce the dropouts from 75% to now 25%. Or we want to increase the number of students who speak in English in our schools, who can make conversation from 10. Currently it is only 20%. We want to increase it to 50% by the end of the year. Or we want to make sure that all our students are able to participate in events. Currently it is participation only 40%. We want to increase it to 70%. Right? So specific organization goal, if you don't have, నామకే వస్తే అయిపోతాం. ఫంక్షన్ మన మార్నింగ్ వస్తాం, ఈవినింగ్ వెళ్ళిపోతాం, ad hoc అన్ని వర్క్లు చేసుకుపోతాం. And we don't do it in a very strategic way with proper action plan. That's why someone highlighted, I really appreciate them. As an organization leader, you have to set goals for your school. Every year, at least begin with 3 goals. Create a strong action plan to achieve those goals. Then next year, pick up some more goals. Wonderful. Thank you, sir, for highlighting that point. So any other thoughts? Maybe we can take 2 more responses. Organization leader, what is the role of a principal?
Santosh Kumar garu, you can speak. UPS Nipan.
Sir, good morning, sir.
Yes,
Sir, organization leader who sets the goals as well as taking the resources available, considering the resources available, he leads his entire team, his people towards to reach the goal. So that is the, sir, organization leader.
Wonderful, sir. It's not just setting goals. He will create a culture in the school and brings everyone together to achieve those goals. Very good. Shashireka madam is saying that we do that for every 4 months. If you're already doing goal setting and practicing it, madam, that's wonderful. Please continue doing that. So I'm just quickly sharing with you all what are the dimensions of a principal as an organization leader. First one, the principal have to be very strategic. So strategic leadership is a very important aspect. So the principal have to set goals. We'll talk about it in detail. Second dimension of principal as an organization leader is instructional leadership or pedagogical leadership. This talks about how to improve the teaching learning practices, right? The third one is how to manage the human resources efficiently in the school. How should we create second line leadership, both from teachers and also student leadership will enable cheyachu. Parent enable cheyachu. That's also an angle of human resource. How to inspire, how to appreciate, acknowledge, how to incentivize people for their good work, right? This is also a very important aspect of human resource leadership. Fourth dimension of organization leadership is community. So schools are operating as a different entity compared to many other organizations. Schools, particularly schools serving the interest of marginalized communities, those principals also have a role to engage the community, because the parents of the marginalized communities are not very well educated. Education role play the school leaders. So that's why their role is also very critical in community leadership. And very important is operation leadership, how to continue the day-to-day existing operations without any flaws. So those are the 5 broad dimensions, and adi kaakunda your own personal leadership is very, very critical. Your own personal leadership and your own time management, the way you talk to people, the way you dress, the way you showcase yourself to all the parents and students and teachers. So your mannerisms also matter a lot in this entire organization leader. మిమ్మల్ని చూసి ఇన్స్పైర్ కావాలంటే మీ నడవడిక కూడా, మీ మాటలు, మీ టైం మేనేజ్మెంట్, ఎవ్రీథింగ్ షుడ్ బి an aspect of inspiration for others. Okay? So these are the 6 broad dimensions of school leaders, school principals as an organization leader. So కొంచెం elaborate చేయడానికి I've just put down detail. As in strategic leadership లో విజన్ సెట్ చేసుకోవాలి ప్రతి స్కూల్ ప్రిన్సిపల్, ఎవ్రీ ఇయర్ గోల్ సెట్ చేసుకోవాలి, దాని తగ్గట్టు యాక్షన్ ప్లాన్ సెట్ చేసుకోవడం. సో వెరీ ఇంపార్టెంట్ ఇస్ చేంజ్ మేనేజ్మెంట్. డోంట్ జస్ట్ స్టే ఇన్ స్టేటస్ కో. కొంచెం ఈ సంవత్సరం కొన్ని మార్పులు చేద్దాం. వాట్ ఆర్ దోస్ స్మాల్ థింగ్స్? So that is what is strategic leadership. That is the role that the school principals have to play in strategic leadership. Instructional pedagogical leadership lo, how to improve teaching learning practice in the school, going into the classroom, giving feedback to the teacher. Remedial classes ఏమైనా అవసరం ఉంటే learning gas splitted and దానికి ప్లాన్ చేయడం. It's not necessary that అన్ని 3 hours programs స్టేట్ నుంచి డిజైన్ చేసి వస్తేనే మనం చేయాలి అని కాకుండా, ఇన్నోవేటివ్ గా మీ గ్రాస్ రూట్ లెవెల్ సిచ్యువేషన్ బట్టి రెమెడియల్ టీచింగ్ మీరు ఎట్లా చేసుకోవచ్చు మీ నీడ్స్ తగ్గట్టు, రైట్? Also in designing any need-based programs for your school, it could be for promoting critical thinking, promoting entrepreneurial skills for your students based on their interest. Right? And HR leadership, developing a strong second-line leadership. Someone highlighted it. Positive school culture creation is also a very important role of the school principal. మీ స్కూల్ కల్చర్ బట్టి మీ స్కూల్లో టీచర్స్ కూడా ఎంత ఎఫిషియెంట్ పని చేస్తారు, స్టూడెంట్స్ ఎంత బాగా చదువుకుంటున్నారు, పేరెంట్స్ ఎంత స్ట్రాంగ్ ఎంగేజ్ అవుతారని డిపెండ్ అవుతుంది. Hostile culture in places lo, there won't be good relationships and there won't be good teamwork. It is a responsibility of the school principal to create that positive culture where everyone wants to work, right? And also create some good rewards. Rewards need not be financial all the time. It could also be a simple word of appreciation from the principal. These are the simple aspects of HR leadership, right? So that can enable your team members to work as a strong team and have lesser conflicts, right? And community leadership lo, parent engagement kaavachu, media engagement kaavachu, and engaging with other educators also is very, very critical. So operational leadership, as you all know, making sure that all the day-to-day activities are running properly, and very important is having a strong monitoring mechanism within the school, both for learning outcomes as well as non-learning aspects. Having that strong systems is very, very critical as an operation leader. In terms of personal leadership, your own leadership presence, మీ హావభావాలు, మీరు ఎలా మాట్లాడుతున్నారు, so all these things matter a lot. And also your own communication skills. Sometimes your technological skills also matter a lot. Principals who are good at technology and stuff, they enjoy greater confidence. Teachers also come to them for advice. So this is also very, very important. The more equipped you are, the more stronger you are, the more skilled you are, your teachers also will look up to you for any suggestions and ideas. So and very important, time management. Our next session would only principal's role is a multitasking role, multi-dimensional role. Ivanni sariga cheyagalagali, stress raakunda anante time management kuda chala important. So your own time management is also very, very important in this entire journey, right? So yeah, it's very complex, and I just want to leave this session with one simple quote. Successful leaders, మేము చాలా మంది మాట్లాడినప్పుడు సక్సెస్ఫుల్ స్కూల్ లీడర్స్ తో ఒక స్టేట్మెంట్ చెప్తారు. I'll just read that for you. Successful school leaders say that how others see you is not important. వేరే వాళ్ళు మీ గురించి ఏమనుకుంటున్నారు అది ఇంపార్టెంట్ కాదు. How you see yourself means everything. మీ రోల్ గురించి, ప్రిన్సిపల్ రోల్ గురించి మీరేమనుకుంటున్నారో దట్ ఈస్ మోస్ట్ ఇంపార్టెంట్. మీరు మిమ్మల్ని లీడర్ అనుకుంటే then you will think of being like a leader and making changes in the school. If you think that you are a manager, then you'll always think that you are a manager. You'll always look for instructions from the top. If you think that you are a pedagogical leader and not just an administrator, then you will also start thinking about how to improve teaching learning practices. Aim cheste manam teachers ki more professional development ivvachu. If you don't think like that, then you will say, okay, I'll wait for SCRT to give training, or I'll wait for some higher officials to organize a training, right? If you think that you are an organization leader, then you will start thinking that, okay, I need to set the vision for the school. I need to set mission. I need to set goals. I need to think about creating a positive culture. I need to think about how to make my teachers feel appreciated and motivated. You will think about all those strategies. If you feel that, no, I am not an organization leader, I am just only administrator, I will just work based on instructions, you will just focus on that, right? That's why this statement is very, very important. మీ గురించి మీరేమనుకుంటున్నారు ఇంపార్టెంట్, ఎదుటి వాళ్ళు ఏమనుకుంటున్నారు అన్నది అనుకుంటే. సో ఐ లీవ్ దిస్ సెషన్, ఐ విల్ క్లోజ్ దిస్ సెషన్ on the note that please consider that your role is the role of a leadership, and you are capable of changing the lives of so many children, their families and their communities. If you're operating under that mindset, then obviously country's education system can be transformed significantly in a shorter span of time. If all the 15.3 school heads of this country start operating as leaders, not just the managers. Thank you so much. And I think Jayavishwar Reddy sir will also give us a short quiz after this. But I just want all of you to take 30 seconds to read this nice quote of Gandhiji that is very, very applicable to all of us.
Yeah, thank you, Pramod, Sai Pramod, for being with us and enlightened all participants. Definitely, leadership perspectives, leadership and TMT, how it is very critical and important role. It's not just a fashionable, fancy word కాదు అనేది కూడా బహుశా అందరం తెలుసుకోవాలనుకుంటాను. సో ఐ థింక్ యూ గాట్ ఎ వెరీ రైట్ ఐడియా వచ్చిందని నేను భావిస్తున్నా. ఎస్, ఒక్కొక్క లీడర్షిప్ పైన ఒక పర్స్పెక్టివ్ ఉంటుంది డెఫినెట్ గా. లీడర్షిప్ అంటే మనకు జనరల్ గా పొలిటికల్ గానే మనం చూస్తాం. ఎవరో లాస్ట్ టైం ఒక పార్టిసిపెంట్ కామెంట్ చేశాడు, లీడర్షిప్ ఈజ్ వితౌట్ రెస్పాన్సిబిలిటీ అన్నాడు. దట్ ఈస్ హిస్ పర్సెప్షన్. ఓకే, ఇలాంటివి వస్తుంటాయి. సో ఇక్కడ మనము మనకు కనపడేది ఇమ్మీడియట్ గా ఏదో పొలిటిక్స్ ఒకటే లీడర్షిప్ అనుకుంటాం. బట్ ఇన్ ఎవ్రీ స్పియర్, ఇన్ ఎవ్రీ ఫీల్డ్ దెర్ ఇస్ అ లీడర్షిప్ ఇస్ దేర్. బిజినెస్ లీడర్షిప్ ఉంటుంది, సైంటిఫిక్ ఎంటర్ప్రైజ్ లీడర్షిప్ ఉంటుంది, మిలిటరీ లీడర్షిప్ ఉంటుంది. సో ఇన్ ఎవ్రీ ఏరియా మనం వర్క్ చేస్తే అక్కడ లీడర్షిప్ ఉంటుంది. సో దట్స్ వాట్ అందుకే ఇక్కడ స్కూల్ లీడర్షిప్ హ్యాస్ వెరీ క్రిటికల్ రోల్. ఇట్స్ నాట్ జస్ట్ డూయింగ్ రొటీన్ వర్క్ అనేది చెప్పడం జరిగింది ప్రమోద్ గారు. ఎస్, లీడర్షిప్ కు మేనేజ్మెంట్ కు అడ్మినిస్ట్రేషన్ హౌ ఇట్ డిఫర్స్, హౌ ఇట్ థిన్ లైన్ బిట్వీన్ దట్ వన్. And finally you have articulated that one. Yes, leadership ko driving force anedi goals, objectives, immediate goals, vision and mission undalani cheppడం జరిగింది. And very important thing, strategical leadership is very important. Instructional and very important instruction leadership, that we are forgetting that one. How to lead the instruction process in the classrooms anedi very critical element. ఎందుకంటే every school has to excel అన్నప్పుడు లర్నింగ్ ఈజ్ అన్ వెరీ ఇంపార్టెంట్ ఫ్యాక్టర్. నువ్వు ఎన్ని ఉన్నా లర్నింగ్ జరిగితేనే అది స్కూల్ అని అంటాం. కనుక ఎవ్రీ స్కూల్ క్యాన్ గ్రో, ఎవ్రీ లర్నర్ క్యాన్ లర్న్ అన్నప్పుడు సో లీడర్షిప్ లో ఇస్ వెరీ ఇంపార్టెంట్ ఆస్పెక్ట్. ఎస్, ఈ మధ్య చూసినప్పుడు కొంచెం ఇన్స్ట్రక్షన్ ప్రాసెస్ మీద మనం అంత దృష్టి కేంద్రీకరిస్తున్నట్టు కనపడలేదు. ఎస్, వీ హ్యావ్ టు ఎంఫసైజ్ దట్ ఈస్ అ వెరీ ఇంపార్టెంట్ ఆస్పెక్ట్. అది ఉంటేనే మిగతాది ఉన్నట్టే లెక్క. సో you rightly pointed out operational leadership and personal leadership is very initiative, carrying out the innovations and leading the change. Even it's chala very important attributes for the school leadership. School leadership anedi oka word toti define cheyalem, very complex situation idi. So really I appreciate Sai Pramod Bathini garu. He has a very good experience working with as a consultant, engaging principals and different schools like private schools కావచ్చు, పబ్లిక్ స్కూల్స్ కావచ్చు. అదేవిధంగా మన గవర్నమెంట్ సెక్టర్ లో కూడా వర్క్ చేసిన అనుభవం ఉంది కనుక I think he has rightly justified this topic definitely. I hope now I look forward to the second session. Today we have the school as a learning